pork tenderloin stuffed with a bit of mince.
What have we got here now? We've got pork tenderloin, which is a prime cut, and we've got some mince, pork mince here.
Yeah.
Prime
So Tom, my idea was you use a nice prime cut with also a bit of a cheap cut mince on it, you know what I mean? And that will bunk up your portion, you know what I mean? Instead of using a prime cut, because like this is quite expensive. Yeah. In a way, it's inexpensive, but for pork, it's quite expensive, you know? And what you want to do is you want to add a bit of extra on there. Yeah. So it looks a bigger piece, like, you know. So what the French kind of normally do is wrap it in calf fat. But today what we're going to do is I'm going to do a bit of mince. We're going to stuff the pork loin, and then we're going to tie it a small bit with a bit of notch, and then we're going to pan fry the noisette. So beautiful. So here we go.
So you want me to
yeah, so if you want to kind of like fan that out a bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the farce in the middle. So I'm going to make a farce. So this is a it's a lean kind of mince, so about 60% and 40% fat, because I want that kind of like a juiciness to go in.
And it's a coarse mince as well, you know, it's still a nice bite to it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to do the exact same process now, what I normally do. So basically I'm going to put a bit of, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a bit of rapeseed oil. Okay, so I have some garlic, and what I've done there, you see the pork kind of binding together again. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to put some salt in here as well. Okay, so salt, black pepper, I have some garlic in here, and a bit of rapeseed oil, just to give a bit of extra shortening. You can see it brightening up there.
Beautiful. Yeah. And that's really adding value to the fillet, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see the moisture brightening up.
Absolutely. I'm going to give these a little few smacks, guys. So.
And you know what? I'm going to throw a bit of thyme in here as well.
Again, very simple. You know, you don't need an awful lot of ingredients. They're just.
So what I'm doing is I'm stuffing the pork mince in the middle of the pork loin, okay? And what happens to this is when you cook it, the fat releases into the prime meat, like, and it keeps it nice and moist.
But it's very easy to portion this. For portion control, it's ideal. Yeah. An ideal dish. You take a few noisettes.
Yeah. Look at that. It's beautiful. Wrapped around perfectly. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my pan on.
And again, what I done, I come the fattiest part, which is not a lot of fat on the pork tenderloin, on the inside. Yeah. So with the mince.
It keeps it nice and moist, yeah. You don't lose any of that.
Exactly. So I'll only do these a very loose little twine.
Yeah, so because basically what happens, the tighter the knot gets, the more it'll squeeze out, because whenever the meat gets in the pan and starts to contract, it starts to squeeze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook a small bit of walnuts and a bit of buttered spinach roll just to go with the pork.
Beautiful.
So I'm also going to get a piece of garlic whole, where I'm going to put in the pan after.
Just let it infuse with the oil?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm just going to give it a little crack to hold it together.
So will I just cut them into like little 1.5, 2 inch?
Yeah, just in between the...
Just to give you an idea.
Yeah, perfect.
That?
Yeah, so basically if you want to, cut there and there. Perfect. So you see there, nice little noisettes. So
really pretty, and they look really well on the plate.
Yeah.
One more for luck, chef. Yeah.
One more for luck. Like, you can have these like if you have, you know, it just bunks up the portion a lot more, you know. And it just makes it so much more worthwhile.
Yeah, it really adds more value to it as well. Yeah. Or you could even add some black pudding to that mince as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, and tongue, you know what I mean? You know, if you want to add like the pork tongue, as you're saying, like if you want to, you know, brine the tongue, chop it up, add in some offal in there as well, you know what I mean?
Bit of an assiette pork.
Yeah, it's beautiful, like, you know, and you can put it in there, you know, and it kind of adds a deep kind of flavour into that, you know what I mean? And yeah. This is going to be very simple as a little garnish. A bit of butter in there.
So looking at it now in the pan, you probably get 3 to 4 portions from the one tenderloin as opposed.
Oh, you would, yeah.
Like 2 of them noisettes per portion would be beautiful.
And again, what was it? 2 of them for a portion.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So you can see now, look at that. So
There's a lovely caramelization on the meat there. It's really good.
And you know what? The mince, you wouldn't even think that was
No, you wouldn't.
in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to from some walnuts, okay? So we're going to just peeled walnuts, crush it up a small bit in there. I used to serve a nice prune juice with the pork as well. Prune's quite nice too. Anything kind of dry fruit or has that bit of sweetness to go really well with pork.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And what you can do, you can stick this in the oven a little bit just to let that cook through. What you want to do is you get that continuous flavour in there, you know. So
butter really gives it a lovely glaze.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The nuttiness.
And also like gives it a nice nuttiness kind of flavour, you know. So, and you're going to cook that right through. So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. I'm going to throw my little spinach in there. I think.
And that's become very popular because I know where you're Limerick, Tom. Limerick's renowned for its pork.
Renowned, yes.
But like to name drop a farmer.
Absolutely,
you know, quality assured Irish pork.
Yeah.
From.
It just adds such credibility to the menu as well.
Does. It does, yeah. And people like the support.
Of course, yeah.
You know.
And I think for most of the consumers that's eat now these days, they want to know where the food comes from.
Of course they do, yeah.
So it's quite natural now to actually name where the origin of your meat comes from. And you're kind of proud to put it on the menu because like it's Irish, you know, so.
And again, even from the tourism perspective, you know, you want to be showcasing the best of what we have to offer, you know. But again, if you what that's about half a kilo, that pork fillet. You put a bit of mince into it. It's bringing it up to not too far from a kilo.
There you go. And
you're getting what?
You have four portions there.
You're getting six good portions or eight reasonable.
No, it just shows how much you can add value by just adding a few simple ingredients. But it's about keeping it simple too and not over complicating.
Yeah.
What you can do, we can pop it in the oven a little bit to finish it off if it's not kind of cooked. But because I don't want it, I want it kind of like a medium well.
Okay.
Because obviously you have the mince in the middle and you want to
of course.
You need to make sure.
And because like what I'm doing now is I'm kind of roasting it and getting that the salt of the butter in there. You know, it's kind of get that nuttiness. So keep roasting it off there. So you can do this in the oven as well. It's just beautiful.
That should make me hungry again, chef.
Yeah, the smells.
I'm going to just let that sit for a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the string off, you know. Yeah. So yeah. And I think we're nearly there. Like, how nice is that? Like, I say two proportion, you know?
Yeah.
Just gonna let that rest for a minute before we cut it. And the resting process is very important because that obviously gives a chance for the meat to kind of relax a bit as well, like so.
And, the juices to settle back into it.
Let the muscle fibers contract as well, yeah.
Yeah. I love pork fillet in a stir fry. It's just incredible, you know?
And it cooks so easily, so fast.
Yeah, so let me see. So I'm gonna serve a bit of, so it is a bit of a spinach and walnuts. Okay. So, and what I'm gonna do is a piece of pork. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It looks unbelievable.
Pork tenderloin, stuffed with a bit of mince and served with a bit of walnut and spinach. And it's obviously delicious, great for restaurant dish.
From one pork fillet there, there's 4, 5 generous portions.
Yeah.
How much should it be costing for one pork fillet?
I'd say you'd be looking at worst case, the mince, by introducing the mince, it kind of softens the price even more. So I'd say for the entire pork fillet, including the mince, maximum €7. And then you're getting what, 6?
So it's under €2 a portion.
Yeah, so with three portions, isn't it? You get out of one piece, like, so your portion, yeah. So you can charge like, so you can really put that on a main course dish, like, you know, for over €25, like, you know, at least, so. So guys, I'm just gonna duck in here and taste this dish, but beautiful. This is perfect the way I like it. I like it kind of like just medium. medium well, just still kind of nice and moist, not too over.
Beautiful. Looks good.
It's so tender, and with the mince in the middle, it just keeps the kind of moisture back into the fillet.
It complements each other nearly. Yeah.
But the mince is still there's a nice bite. Like even cutting the mince is, you know, it feels like there's a nice bite to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like traditionally, like a pork loin is kind of known as a dry meat or tough meat, you know. But now it's like you add a little bit of that moisture back in again. You know?
Gorgeous.
So you can also serve with a nice bit of gravy, or, you know,
And of course, yeah.
a nice bit of jus.
But it just shows how versatile pork is. And it's so cost effective for every single cut. You know, this being the prime cut, or one of the prime cuts, you can see how many portions you can get from it.
And that you can be creative with it, you know what I mean? You can add a bit of mince there just to stretch it out small bit, you know what I mean? You can just, you know, use it as the fillet as it is, or, you know, a nice bit of maybe dumb and baked prawns or something on the side of that as well, you know, to addition it. So you can add stuff.
Gorgeous.
Be creative with the pork fillet, you know, because it is a prime cut.